Hello, welcome. My name is Brenda La Stella, and I am a YogaFaith trainer. Today, I am going to guide you in a YogaFaith practice called Trust, and we're going to do this blindfolded. I invite you to use a sleep mask, a scarf, anything that you can to keep your eyes covered. You can practice with your eyes closed. However, the temptation is to open your eyes, see where you're at. And this class is to cultivate the work of trust, that you can trust through repetition that you will be where you need to be. We often, I don't know about you, but when I am doing a yoga practice, I pay a lot of attention to how I'm lining up with the edges of my mat, staying on my mat. There is, we're using our eyes to guide us, but we also want to know that we can trust where we land, that we're not over adjusting ourselves, that we trust that where we land is okay. And if you notice that you are not on your mat, say you step back to plank and you notice, oh, I'm not, one of my one foot is off, you can just simply guide yourself back to center. Okay, so let's start. You can either take a simple seat, left leg in front, or stack the legs. For Agni Stambhasana, the feet are flexed. This is fire log pose. Either way, I really want you to work to ground down through the hips and legs, that your shoulders, let me show you, shoulders are stacked over the hips, spine is long. So you're really grounding down through the pelvis and rising up through the front line of the body. No rounded backs. We're lifting and rising the body up. And then once you feel for that rooted, grounded in your seat and the rise through the center of the spine, open the arms. Inhale. And on the exhale, bring the right arm on top of left and seal the hands. Now, if you cannot twist the arms, just bring the arm, one arm over the other. You can press the back of the hands in toward one another. You're working to roll the shoulder blades down onto your back. Elbows are in line with the shoulders. You can close your eyes, move the hands away from the face, and feel for the sides of the neck getting longer as you press those hands into one another and the shoulder blades press down. Breathe into the upper back. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale, raise the elbows a little higher. Exhale. Unwind the arms. Pause. Breathe. Switch the cross of your legs, either right ankle in front of left or right ankle on top of left knee, stacking the shin bones over one another, feet are flexed. Realign. Feel for the rooting and the grounding down of the pelvis, the sit bones, the tailbone. Using the front line of the body to pull up, in and up. Rib bones are down. Open the arms. On the exhale, left elbow over right, eagle arms. Elbows in line with the shoulders, shoulder blades dropping down away from the ears, hands move away from the face. These are slight movements. You may only see like a centimeter or a half an inch of movement and change in those adjustments. Close the eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift the elbows a little bit more. Exhale, unwind, pause. Come to tabletop, and we will take 3 cat-cows. Inhale, arched back. Exhale, round. You can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze, soft jaw. Inhale, one more. And exhale. Sit back, child's pose. Nice long deep breaths into the back line of the body. Maybe you turn the palms up, being receptive to trust, offering trust. And if you would like, you can connect with me to this verse in Proverbs, chapter 3. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him. He will direct your path. Give thanks for this opportunity to move in trust, to learn the discipline of trust, letting go of own understanding, to embark on this practice that we will do without the eyes for a good portion. Inhale. Draw yourself up, tuck the toes. Let's do a yoga toe stretch, coming to sit on the heels and extend those little toes out. And breathe. Grab your sleep mask. Maybe close your eyes, feel the center before you put the sleep mask on. And when you're ready, cover your eyes with your sleep mask or a scarf, your preference, or whatever you have available to you. And then come to tabletop, set tabletop, feel your body in that tabletop with your toes tucked. Lifting the belly. Now lift the knees, inch off the mat, engage the belly into the spine. And then when you're ready, lift the hips back
And heels come down for downward facing dog. Ground your feet and ground your hands. Trust where you are in space. You're in your home base. Deepen your down dog by sending the inner thighs back in space. Pull belly to spine. Bring the heart through the arm bones a little bit more. Breathe. On the next exhale, bend the knees, step to your hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine. You can bring hands to shins or keep the hands on the floor. Exhale, fold. And in this forward fold, you can either stay here holding the ankles, or you can clasp the hands behind you and lift the arm bone, collarbone, scapula away from the floor toward the sky as you drop the crown more toward the ground. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Trust. On your next exhale, you can either release the hands to the hips or, keeping the hands clasped, rise to standing. Bring hands to heart and pause. Eyes are closed. Bring your hands, your feet up underneath you. Feel right and left, the balance between right and left. Right and left foot, right and left hand, equal distribution of pressure between the hands. Shoulder blades drop down. Trust. You know the movements. We are going to go through sun salutation. We're going to just repeat and repeat and build trust without seeing where we're going. Again, if you come off your mat, just come back on. Just adjust yourself. Inhale. Sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, dive forward, flat back, fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step to plank and drop the knees. Lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale. Curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. You did one. Bend the knees, step forward on the exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Drop the crown. Inhale, lift from the center of the body. Raise the arms up. Exhale, draw the hands to heart. Continue into the inhale. And exhale, fold. Don't overthink it. Inhale, trust where you are. Exhale, step to plank. You can repeat lowering to the knees or drop chaturanga, cobra, or up dog. Curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Grounding through the hands, grounding through the feet. Send the inner thighs back in space a little more. Then the knees step forward on the exhale. Inhale, rebound, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Drop the crown. Inhale. Through center. Exhale, hands to heart. Continuing, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step to plank. Lower chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees on the exhale, step forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop the crown, fold. Inhale, flat back from center, raise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Sweep up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Trust where you're going. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step to plank. It's okay if you're shaking. Your body's just trying, your mind's just trying to trust. Curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Don't let that shaking distract you. I feel it too. The nervous system is adjusting. Your whole being is adjusting to this movement without the eyes. You know the movement. You've done these sun salutations over and over throughout your life of doing yoga. Bend the knees, step forward. Inhale, lengthen. But it's different for the mind to do it without the eyes, and the whole being, your whole nervous system is now catching up to this trust that you are cultivating. Pause, hands at the heart, and just feel for center. Let that shaking dissipate. Commit to the trust. You don't have to peek. You don't have to look to see where you're at. You're trusting. You know this, you're at the front of your mat. And that's where you were supposed to land. That's all that matters. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale and fold. We're going to just continue with more sun salutations. Repetition is good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees, step to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. 3 more on your own. Continue. Inhale. Trust yourself. Take 2 breaths in between each salutation. And be grateful. You're doing it.
You're trusting the pattern that you know it without your eyes. When you have finished your third salutation, please meet me in downward facing dog, or you can take child's pose until we all get there together. Don't rush it. Keep a nice steady pace. Trust is not rushed. It's intentional. Steady. Come to the toes, drop the knees, tabletop. Just pause in the tabletop without the head dropping down. Keep the back of the head in line with the spine. And just feel for this tabletop. Maybe you need to move the shoulder blades away from the ears. Notice how you're more connected to what your body is feeling and what your body is letting you be aware of. Flatten out the feet and come to sit on the heels and take your mask off. Maybe you're not particularly square with your mat, but that's okay. Place one hand on top of the other. Press the thumbs together, close the eyes. Let the eyes adjust with the eyes closed. You can still notice the daylight or the light in your room. Come forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. We're going to do some hip openers now. You can keep your eyes closed for as much of this as, and just trust yourself. We're going to just do some easy hip openers. Inhale, lift that left leg up behind you. You can turn that hip open if it's there for you. Squaring the hips again, knee to nose. Place that left foot on the outside of the left hand. Drop that back knee, but keep the hips up and square. So your toes are turned out about 30 degrees. I'm keeping that knee over the ankle. I'm working my tailbone toward the back of the mat. So my inner thigh of that back leg is going to move a little bit more back in space. Like let the thigh bone move back and up in space. Crown is reaching toward the front, and I'm going to isometrically drag that left heel toward that back knee. That's going to really deepen the pull the hip bone, the thigh bone into the hip socket, and really deepen that stretch into those deep hip rotators and into the inner thigh. If it's there for you, you can either use blocks to bring the arms down and come onto the arms. I like to come down to the elbows. I'm keeping my hips lifted, notice. I'm still using that same action. I'm just going a little bit lower, deeper, pulling the heart forward. And don't forget to breathe. Nice, long, deep breaths. I keep moving my shoulders more over my elbows. And smile. Inhale, come up. And then send that leg back and lift it up, three-legged down dog. You can rotate that hip around and pause in the middle. Lift that right leg up behind you. Bend the knee, open the hip. Do your best to keep your chest square to the mat. And then square off the hips, three-legged down dog, knee to nose. And then place that foot outside the right hand. Hips are more elevated for this lizard than you're probably used to. It's just, it brings a different dynamic into the right hip. So you got your toes about 30 degrees turned toward the right, knee over ankle, and you're sucking that hip bone, that thigh bone into the hip socket by moving the tailbone toward the back of the mat. That inner thigh grows a little bit deeper. Crown forward. If you can come to the elbows, do so, but maybe close the eyes and just breathe. Nice, long, deep breaths for a 5 count. Trust. Don't over effort. Relax the jaw, relax the face. Trust that maybe if it's a little uncomfortable, that change is going to happen. The muscles are going to start to move, lengthen, adjust. We find more depth when we trust. Don't overthink. Couple of more breaths. Embrace the shaking. Inhale, come up onto the hands. Send that leg back. Downward dog. You can circle out that hip. Inhale, lift that right leg up behind, left leg up behind you. My apologies. Left leg behind you, three-legged. Knee to nose, and then bring that shin forward and down for pigeon. If you're tighter in the hip, you can use a block underneath the left hip. Squaring the hip bones toward the front of your mat. You got your hip bones in the front. If your shin is not parallel to the front of the mat, that is fine. That really has more to do with how open you are. And sometimes it has to do with the type of muscle you have. I have longer, leaner muscle. If you have more dense muscle, that is probably not going to be there for you. If you flatten out the toes, keep the inner ankle long. Keep the spine long, heart forward. And breathe fully. Breathe wide. Breathe wide into the border of the ribs. And exhale fully. Relax the jaw, relax the face. Maybe turning the hands up to receive and to surrender. Inhale. Come up on the hands, rooting that tailbone down. Move the heart forward, slight bend of the upper chest. And then walk that foot in, that back foot in, come back to downward facing dog. You can circle out that left hip again. And then come into downward dog, take a breath. Inhale, right leg up behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Bring that shin forward and down, pigeon. Start more upward. Make sure your hip bones are square toward the front of your mat. And then you can come to the elbows. Keeping the chest open, collarbones are wide. If you flatten out those back toes, please be mindful to keep the inner ankle long. Press the big toe into the mat. And you'll keep the inner ankle long. This is good for the nervous system. Keeps that center line of energy flowing from the foot all the way up. And that source starts at the kidneys. We tend to collapse in the middle. So we want to be intentional. I'm even keeping my right foot, the ankle extended, foot is flexed. That when we trust, that when we align the body specifically in specific ways, that it brings harmony to the body, the breath, the movement, the focus. It all affects the inner workings of your body. Trust. Inhale, come to the hands, root that tailbone down, arch the upper back, open the chest, look up. Curl the toes, and then lift the hips back up into downward facing dog, and you can circle that hip one more time. Down dog, take a breath. Bend the knees, step through, and sit. And come into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, this butterfly posture. Feet together, knees out. If your legs are way up here because your hips are tight, put yourself up on a block or a bolster or a blanket. Lift the hips up. You'll find more space. Long spine, open chest, fold. Holding on to the feet. I like to clasp my hands around my toes. And feel for the length from crown to tail, and then the widening through the collarbones, the arm bones, the widening of the knees away from the hips. Breathe into the back line of the body. Pull the belly in. Maybe you can fold a little bit more. Inhale, come up. Send that left leg out to the left. Half straddle, bringing the right foot toward the groin, toward the pelvis. Pause, sitting nice and tall. We're going to do a side bend. You can either take the arm on the inside of the leg, now I open up my arm first to keep my chest turned forward, and then keeping my sit bones rooted, reach over to get a nice side stretch. Make sure you keep those sit bones rooted. You can, if you like to go deeper, take that hand to the right thigh. Breathe. Inhale. Come up. Pause. Bring hands to heart. Close the eyes. And then you can walk your hands forward and down, keeping the chest open. Inner ankle is long, feet are flexed. Bend the knee, dig that heel down, and then let the thigh bone reach down. Feel for length from the tail to the crown. We're always those subtle adjustments of alignment. You can feel them in your body. Trust the subtle. We always think that everything needs to be this grand movement or change, but really it's in the subtle things, in the subtle places, subtle cues that we need to listen to and trust are making a difference. That the small things God asks you to do or asks you to trust Him with are discipline for the bigger things. Inhale, come up. Bring the soles of the feet back together, Baddha Konasana. We're just going to hold this, pause. Make sure you're on your sit bones. Crown is lifted, spine is long. And then when you're ready, send that right leg out. My apologies. If you noticed, I did opposite today. I started everything with the left. When we were doing all these hip openers, I started with the left. It's a trust thing. We typically in yoga instructions start with the right, but so ground the heel down, ground the thigh bone down. You can either bring the elbow inside, keeping the chest open. So I like to open my arm, look up, and I don't have to keep looking up, but I want to keep my head in line with my spine. And if you want to go even deeper, you can take that hand to the hip. Your legs are strong. Inhale. Come up. Hands to heart. Pause in the center. And then walk your hands forward. If you can come to the elbows, it's really just about the depth that you have today in this moment. Let the legs be heavy. Trust. Let the sit bones get heavy. Pelvis is heavy. Inner ankle is long. Pull belly to spine. Inhale, walk yourself up. And then come turn toward the front of your mat with your feet on the floor, knees bent, and hold on to the front of the shins and lift your chest, pull the belly in, and begin to lengthen back, lean back. Maybe you start to let go. Trust, maybe you feel for the heels to come up, toes lift, boat pose. If you want to extend the legs, if it's there for you, heart is lifted. Curl it back in and roll back and take happy baby. If happy baby's not there for you, you can just bring the knees toward the shoulders, but roll that tailbone toward the front of your mat. Keep the integrity of the lumbar spine, which does not curve down toward the earth, but it moves away from the earth. The natural curve curves towards your belly, not away. Or you can take happy baby holding on the outer edges of the mat. Again, same cues. Tailbone moves toward the end of your mat. And just relax. Don't muscle into this too much. The real work that you're actually doing is just keeping that tailbone reaching toward the front of your mat. Everything else, you just let it happen. If more depth happens, more depth happens. Breathe. Bring the knees in toward the chest and then send them out one at a time. Rock the feet toward one another, in and out, and then let go. Turn the palms face up. Let's take Shavasana. And I want you to trust the rest. Because when we get to the end of one thing, we tend to start to think about the next. And when we do that, we start the front line of our body is lifted away. So I invite you to trust the rest at the end of this class and let the front line of your body rest down. That whatever is coming after this is not happening right now. Right now, you're trusting that the work that you just put in is going to settle down, become a part of you, rest, digest what you just experienced. I'll be quiet for 1 minute and then I will call you back. Inhale. Exhale, begin to wiggle your toes. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, roll to one side. Pause, blow out of your arm. On the next inhale, press yourself to sit. Pause, bring hands to center. Bow the head. Be grateful. Maybe you say a prayer of your own for Thanksgiving, for learning to trust with the eyes closed and the unseen, trusting the being centered. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. God bless you, and namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. See you again soon.